Hey there, Mr. Smith. How are you doing? Gary Grum back from NBC News here. Is an indictment coming soon, sir? Is an investigation wrapping up, sir?
Excuse us.
Anything you'd like to say, Mr. Smith?
That was Special Counsel Jack Smith, and I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. NBC News saw Jack Smith walking into his office and got that video that we just played. Jack Smith did not answer any questions. Jack Smith has been handling his investigation quietly but methodically. But the video we just showed you is very important because it's frankly the first video we've seen of Special Counsel Jack Smith, other than the photographs that we have been using here of Jack Smith in Europe when he was a war crimes prosecutor. But in that video, Special Counsel Jack Smith walking into his office. We previously reported here on the MeidasTouch Network that yesterday, Special Counsel Jack Smith personally appeared at a meeting with 3 of Donald Trump's lawyers. Those lawyers included Jim Trusty, Lindsay Halligan, and John Rowley. The meeting at the Department of Justice offices yesterday between Special Counsel Jack Smith and his team and Donald Trump's lawyers lasted approximately 2 hours, and Donald Trump's lawyers then left looking like they saw a ghost. Their faces looked completely pale when they left the Department of Justice office building. We've been reporting a lot on some additional developments here as well. Yesterday, we talked about how there was a second grand jury that we are aware of relating to the document case. So there are multiple grand juries investigating Donald Trump's crimes right now. But with respect to Donald Trump's theft of government records and obstruction of justice, we were always aware of the grand jury in Washington, D.C., where Special Counsel Jack Smith was presenting evidence to. But we now learned about a grand jury impaneled in southern Florida. We believe the reason that this grand jury has been impaneled in southern Florida and has been receiving information is for a criminal investigation and possible indictments of workers for Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago, since there wouldn't be jurisdiction in Washington, D.C. over those Florida residents. And so you'd have to open up a Florida grand jury for those investigations if a witness and someone who is likely a target, for example, Walt Nauta, Donald Trump's body man at the White House, sometimes referred to as a valet. He was also Donald Trump's personal aide after Donald Trump left office. But if someone like Walt Nauta, who worked at Mar-a-Lago, was saying, I am not going to appear in Washington, D.C. because you don't have jurisdiction over me, or you can't indict me out of a grand jury from Washington, D.C., the Department of Justice would open up another grand jury if someone like Walt Nauta would not waive any infirmities in jurisdiction as a potential defense. And so to be clear, the grand jury that is impaneled in southern Florida would be out of the United States District Court in the Southern Division of Florida, the Southern District of Florida, rather. So it's still a federal proceeding, of course. And I mentioned the name Walt Nauta there because that is the individual who was seen moving boxes on surveillance footage the day before the top counterintelligence official at the Department of Justice, Jay Platt, showed up at Mar-a-Lago on June 3rd. And Walt Nauta was seen moving these classified boxes, classified records. And then from the reporting that we've been discussing, Walt Nauta initially lied about it to the Department of Justice and said that he had not moved any boxes, was unaware of anything relating to the classified records. And then it turned out he was on the surveillance footage moving the boxes. He's not believed to be cooperating. So to me, that explains why you have this grand jury in the Southern District of Florida. One of the other big pieces of news we reported about is that Special Special Counsel Jack Smith learned that the maintenance worker by the name of Carlos de Oliveira, who was helping Walt now to move those boxes on June 2nd, the day before the Department of Justice arrived. Carlos de Oliveira, the same maintenance worker who in July was apparently asking the IT people at Mar-a-Lago how the surveillance footage works. IT workers by the name of Yusil Tavares. Carlos de Oliveira is believed to have drained the pool, he claims accidentally, into the office where the surveillance footage was being kept in October of 2022 at or around the time Merrick Garland, who was still leading the investigation at that time, issued a subpoena for additional surveillance footage. And so that is being probed as potential obstructive conduct. Now, with Special Counsel Jack Smith walking to his office in Washington, D.C., and obviously being far more visible than he was before, you have Donald Trump responding just how you would think he would be responding. Donald Trump writes, "Election interference, exclamation point, exclamation point. Don't let it happen. They are also going after me as retribution for the Republicans in Congress, going after them. The difference is they have created major crimes. I have created none." I mean, this traitor is a freaking maniac also. Donald Trump writes, "It's all about election interference." By the way, he wrote all of this today, right around the time we saw Special Counsel Jack Smith for the first time. "It's all about election interference. They don't want to run against me. I ran twice. I did much better the second time, blah, 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 blah. Getting millions and millions and more votes than the first. A record for a sitting president, and am leading Biden in the polls by a lot. They are a party of disinformation, blah, 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 blah. They are using the DOJ and FBI against me to rig the 24 elections," just like a whine, so freaking whiny. "They'll hit Hunter with something small to make their strike on me look, quote, fair. Nothing about these fascists is fair or honest." Also, it's all projection with these MAGA Republicans. Here's another one. He wrote, "The Marxists and fascists in the DOJ and FBI are going after me at a level and speed never seen before in our country, and I did nothing wrong. Joe Biden keeps thousands of documents in many locations, some illegally taken from SCIFs." He doesn't even know how to spell it. SCIFs, while he was a senator, a big portion of which were classified. He didn't want to give them back and still doesn't, blah, 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 blah. Trump hater, the Trump hater this, Trump hater that. When are these MAGA Republicans going to actually talk about the American people? The legal process is going to play itself out, right? At the end of the day, Special Counsel Jack Smith, I believe, is going to indict. The case will be heard by a jury. I know that MAGA Republicans don't like to accept the process of law and order, but it'll go in front of a jury. A jury will make a decision. Donald Trump can put forward all of the defenses that he has. But it's time we as a nation talk about issues that matter to the American people. And all the MAGA Republicans are doing, and I'm going to do a hit on this in a little bit. I'll do a story on it. You got Jim Jordan sending letters to Merrick Garland asking for the identity of all of the prosecutors and trying to interfere with Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigation. It's like, it's humiliating and embarrassing what the modern day Republican Party has become, that they stand behind someone like Donald Trump. But on the plus side, you got Special Counsel Jack Smith. There he is. It's the first video we've seen of Special Counsel Jack Smith. There, we'll just show it to you one more time.
Hey there, Mr. Smith. How are you doing? Gary Graham back from NBC News here. Is an indictment coming soon, sir? Is an investigation wrapping up, sir?
Excuse us. Oh, you're good.
Anything you'd like to say, Mr. Smith?
I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Have a great day. Hit subscribe. Check us out at Patreon and wherever you get audio podcasts. Subscribe. Have a great day.
Hey, Midas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.